Welcome back to The Big Show. It's Alex Belfield talking to the biggest stars and my favourite people and the world's greatest tenor, Alfie Boe. How are you?
I'm all right, man. That's quite an introduction. World's greatest tenor. That's put the pressure on me. All right. Thank you for that.
I didn't just say it off the top of my head. I've thought about this long and hard because I've got some good mates in this business and people I really love and cherish and have seen live. There's the Andrea Bocellis, there's the Russell Watsons. Love them all. They've all done the show. But I have to say, nothing has beaten your performance at the O2.
Oh, man.
Truly incredible. We've done this a couple of times. Let's back up first, though, for those who haven't heard us before. You were born singing, right?
I sang from a very early age. Yeah, I mean, I used to sing around the house quite a lot. Didn't ever think that that's what I would do for a living when I was a kid, you know, when I was growing up and stuff. But I just loved to perform. You know, you ask any member of my family, and I was always larking about, making a fool of myself, or singing, or dancing, or something silly.
I came on Thursday night to see Les Mis, and thank you for being so sweet after the show as well, pleasure, by the way. Man. Very nice of you. I was saying after I left you, the thing about you is you could read the yellow pages and it would sound dramatic and it would have pathos. There's something tragic about your voice that moves us, and I mean that in the nicest possible way. Do you know what I mean?
Thank you. Well, I'm thinking of doing the yellow pages for my next album, maybe. I might just read that.
How would you sing Alex Belfield Productions 0207 976 4444?
With a lot of passion. I would sing it with a lot of passion, man.
You make it look so easy. There I was sat watching Les Mis, and I'll do the joke again. At the end of the show, all the cast are dead and they're the lucky ones. It's a hard old slog, the most beautiful, amazing musical in the world. Yeah. But they get their money's worth out of you, don't they?
Oh my goodness, yeah. I was talking to a friend of mine who's playing down the road in Phantom, and he was saying, you know when you've just walked out of the off the barricade and into the sewers? And I said, yeah. He said, just want you to know that I'm in a taxi on my way home at that moment. And it's like, oh man, I have another 4 scenes to go before the end of the show, and it's quite a tough ride, but it's fun. It's a real good show to do, and very passionate, and I really connect with that character and the story, and with the music as well. The music just speaks for itself, really.
Talking of leaving the barricades and going into the sewers, that reminds me of my last job. And I'm still trying to get out of it now. In terms of the sing, I mean, you come on and you shot out of a cannon, really, aren't you? From day one, you got to be there for about 15 minutes. It's all about you. Then you get a bit of time off. Yeah. Where do you find that energy from? Because you're standing on the wings waiting for the curtain to go up, and then you've suddenly got to be right into it.
Yeah, I mean, the start of the show, which is the prologue, is probably the hardest bit of the show, because you have a lot of fight scenes where I end up getting thrown around quite a lot on stage, and you're singing at the same time. There's a lot of choreography. There's lots of things that you have to take on board and sing tough music as well. And then right at the end, you have to really power it out for your last big soliloquy thing, you know, which is it's just a case of focusing, just a case of really believing and being in the moment of every single second of the show, really, you know, not just the beginning, but even when you're off stage, you know, you are still living that character. Particularly in this show, in Les Mis, you don't have much respite to sort of switch off from it. When you're off stage.
I want to ask you this question. It's a bit strange, and bear with me. You've had such a great career and you've been in so many different things. I wonder how it feels for you to join a West End musical and it be the most famous thing you've ever done and the thing that people seemingly love you the most for. Yeah. It's given you an identity, this show, hasn't it? Is that okay?
It certainly has. I mean, yeah, of course it's okay. I mean, I'm absolutely delighted and blown away that I have a connection and a recognition for being in a show that's been running for 26 years. I'm delighted that that people associate me with such a great piece of art, a great piece of work, and there's no, I'm thrilled about it. I have done a lot of other things in the past. I've done many operas and other shows. But I'm particularly with this piece. It's really something that's turned things around for me.
There's a few arty-farty fartheads out there who think that it's okay to say that this isn't proper theatre because it's not opera. What do we say to those people?
Well, you know, it's a very narrow-minded opinion, really, to be honest, because something that's lasted 26 years, in my mind, can stand alongside any Mozart, Puccini, Verdi opera out there, you know, and I could guarantee that if those composers were alive, Puccini, Verdi, and Mozart, they'd be saluting Schoenberg and Boublil. You know, they'd be absolutely outstanding outstanding composition of that work, and they'd be thrilled with them.
Well, and let's face it, in this economy, how many other shows are sold out for literally 6 months? I mean, I've had to wait 5 months to see this. You've been doing it for ages. There is not a spare seat in the house.
No, we've been playing out to packed houses every night since I've been on the show. So I'm very, very lucky there, very fortunate, and the support for the show in itself is great. But I mean, I've had so many fans and gained so many new fans from the show as well that I'm very grateful for everybody's support.
So interesting watching the audience on Thursday night, and again at that O2 with the big PA system and everything, to see the shock on people's faces when you open your trap. It's so powerful 1 minute and then so contained the next. Is that your biggest skill?
It's obviously something that you develop, something that you really work hard at developing. Your technique is something that's going to see you through your career. So it's just a case of doing the exercises, making sure that you can produce those sounds and blend the two together. So I would say it's a pretty big arsenal in my canon, really.
One of you what?
Arsenal in my canon.
Oh, thank God for that. I saw
I didn't say anything else, man.
I was thinking about compliance. I was wondering if we're going to have to chop that bit out. That was all. And in terms of rehearsing and things like that, if you were to not sing from today, let's say, until Boxing Day...
Canon in my arsenal, is the other way around.
This is show business. There's a lot of it around.
Oh, my goodness.
Thankfully, I'm not getting any, but there you are. If you weren't to sing from today until Boxing Day, would your voice still be there, or would it disintegrate and suddenly disappear?
Oh, man. I was nervous about taking on board the Les Mis for such a long period of time, but the more I've sung, the more stamina I've gained. I've actually built up the stamina. I've got a lot more strength in the singing, a lot more strength in my performance, so I can take on a lot more, really. In that way. I think if you didn't sing from now until Boxing Day, then you'd probably have a problem when you tried in December. You'd probably have a problem after Boxing Day just to build it back up and get the strength back there, because you are using muscles, and when you're not using them, they relax. So you have to keep on top of it, really.
I want to ask you another stupid question. I have a list of stupid questions for you today.
Fantastic, I love that.
Do you have any idea how good you are? I've met you a couple of times and we've spoken so many times on the programme. You seem to be completely unaware of how gifted and unique you are.
Oh man, that's very kind of you. I'm very grateful for that and some, the support that I've been given, but I'm just a singer. I'm just a singer, really, who likes to sing good songs and entertain people. And as long as I'm still doing that and still pleasing the crowds, then I know I'm doing the right job.
You've had about 15 albums out in the last year, and they've all been brilliant. I've got this new one in front of me, which is called Alfie. Now, how did we think of that title then?
Well, I've been saying to people that it's not because I'm being vain. It's not about me. I've not named the album after myself. I've named the album after my son, who's due to be born in January, and we're going to call him Alfie.
How did that happen?
Well, what do you want me to explain it on air? How it happens?
I'm just thinking you've had such a busy year, Alfie. This is incredible.
Right, not the actual process of how it happens.
No, I did read the leaflet on that one. Yeah. Oh, how fantastic! So, I mean, this has got to have been the best 18 months of your life, then, hasn't it?
It has. It really has. From the O2, from my records, from the attention that I've got and the support that I've been given, and then my family is just growing. I have a beautiful daughter, a wonderful wife, and now a son on the way. It's wonderful. I'm very, very happy.
This new album is called Alfie. It features some great songs. You doing musical theatre, you doing classics. I wonder where you go next, because we love you singing stuff we know. A lot of the opera that's out there I'm unaware of. Is it nice being popularist and handing your audience stuff that they love you to sing?
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to actually mix it up a little bit. It really is. I not to dumb down the classical music world, but it does have that. It does have that stigma of it being quite stuffy and elitist, and people can be a little bit scared of it or nervous of trying to educate themselves in that music. And it's down to people like myself to make it less scary, to sort of show people that there's no harm in listening to an operatic aria if you want to, if it makes you feel in a certain thing. It's the emotion, it's the feeling that you get from it. You don't have to understand every single word. You know, you don't have to understand what they're saying. They just get the feeling from the music, and if it makes the hair stand up on the back of your neck, or it fills you with a bit of joy or sadness or whatever it is, then it's doing its job. Exactly the same as a rock song or a pop song can do. And so that's why, in my belief, these two worlds or two genres stand side by side. There's no division. There's no division at all. I personally love to sing more popular music at the moment, more ballads, because it's an area of music that I'm really discovering more of, and that was very much an existence in my past.
Well, isn't it nonsense? I mean, it's such a fine line. I look at someone like Freddie Mercury, and anybody try and sing those songs in the shower, even ABBA, there's something operatic about them. They're not easy songs to sing, are they?
No. I mean, you listen to a lot of the older, well, you know, the rock music, even stuff today, the music of today's world, like there's some great bands out there, My Morning Jacket, Elbow, you know, Coldplay, some classic power ballads that these guys are writing stand the test of time, and you look back in the day, Freddie Mercury again, what an operatic performer. I mean, he loved classical music, you know. Elton John, his voice, the quality in his voice is a strong, powerful tenor voice, you know.
And of course, Matt Lucas, another genius singer. Have you thought of covering Ich bin Kunst?
So, excuse me?
Have you not heard his version of Ich bin Kunst?
I really haven't, no.
Oh, well, he's not played that to you. I'm deadly serious. He did a musical called Taboo, as you know. That's where I got to know him. And on the album, he does this song that was written by Boy George. It means I am art in German.
He did sing for me the baked potato song.
The baked potato song?
Yeah.
How does that go then?
Oh my goodness! I'm not even going to attempt it, man. I can't do it.
Would you do me one favour? Would you text him now and ask him to leave you a voice message with this being constant? Honestly, it's one of the most incredible things you'll ever hear in a theatre, let alone on a CD.
I will do.
It's happened again where we've got to the end of our time, and I haven't asked you one decent question. Just a couple of other things before we go.
Okay.
Your life now, of course, the biggest thing in your life will be your child coming in January. You've got a tour on the way as well.
Yep.
Do you, again, I said this to you on Thursday night, do you realise how incredible it is to sell out within 5 minutes every single show across the UK? Seriously, no one else is doing that right now.
No, I'm very fortunate. I was blown away when I found out that the tour had sold out that quickly. I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled that I'm going to be playing to full houses, which is a relief, to be honest.
Sat in front of me on Thursday night, by the way, were two nuns. Do you think they were aiming for Sister Act or something that came in the wrong show?
Well, you know, Les Mis attracts everybody. You know, it's a show for everyone.
It really does as well. And I was looking at your stage door, and I was thinking, what a shame that you're married with children, because let's face it, now would be the time to be single, wouldn't it, Alfie Boe, if you know what I'm saying?
I suppose
you have the pick of the crop, don't you? Really?
There's some lovely people that are very good supporters of mine. I'm not saying a word actually after this.
Do you like that? Is there something incredible about walking out after doing 6.5 hours on stage as Jean Valjean and seeing literally hundreds of people just wanting to say thank you?
It's wonderful. Yeah, it's really nice to have that, and that they can take the time to come to the stage door and meet me is a blessing, really. You know, and if I can give them that little bit of time, then it's not much to ask from, you know, so.
What's next? We've got the baby, we've got the live tour, which is sold out, so no point plugging that. The new album's called Alfie.
Yeah.
What are we going to be doing from February other than changing nappies then?
From February, I'm going to be going to the States after my UK tour finishes. A little bit of promotion there.
Well, don't do this to us. Don't be another one that makes your name over here and then we never see you again because we're not good enough.
No, I can guarantee you that will not happen. My feet are... My home is London, my home is England. I love it here. And I've got such an amazing fan base here that if I could take everybody with me, I really would. But I'm going to be back over the summer. I'm doing tons of music festivals over the festival season. And then I'm back in the States for another little tour and promotion, building things up, attacking a bit of the world. Gonna take it step by step, but record a new album as well at some point next year. Anything happen with my prediction that they're going to reopen Les Mis on Broadway and you're going to be the star, Jean Valjean? There's talk, I think, of them doing that. There's the new production of Les Mis in around the world at the moment. I think it's on a US tour at the minute. So I think that would be the production that they would do on Broadway. Whether it would involve me, I'll have to just see.
Listen, I want to say this before we go. We're out of time, but Alfie, truly, in the last few years, I've been so blessed to hear your music and get to know you and hear these albums. You were born to do this. You are so incredible. The most humble man I've ever met. I still don't think you have any idea how good you are compared to the rest. I mean, what is interesting is, should you appear on something like X Factor, you probably wouldn't get through, would you? Because you don't look right and you've got a beard. You know what I mean?
Maybe. I'm not sure about that. I think everybody deserves the chance, and those programs like X Factor.
Other than Kitty, she doesn't really deserve a chance.
She shot herself in the foot, I believe. I think.
I wish somebody had shoot her somewhere else.
Oh my word!
Hey, listen, I must dash. Alfie Boe, it's always nice talking to you. Congratulations on everything. Alex. Will you do one thing for me? Keep on keeping on, and we'll talk again.
Bless you, sir. Thank you. You're a good mate.